guys, welcome to welcome back to my channel. Today, yet again, we'll be talking about Germany and what it's like living here as an international study abroad student. But more specifically, I'll be telling you 10 things that I've learned about Germany and Germans while living here in Germany. So, without a doubt, let's go ahead and kick things off. So the first thing that I've learned that I found a bit interesting is that you have to pay to pee. Yes, you heard me correctly. You have to pay to pee. So let me explain. So I found like in most public places, so for example, the train station, if you, for whatever reason, have arrived there, you've been traveling for a while, and you really need to tinkle, then you will need to pay, depending on which train station, between 50 cents up to €1 per person in order to tinkle. Parents typically can get in with their children or with a child free, but if you actually have to use the changing room, so it's usually a designated changing area for kids, the bathroom attached to it would be the handicapped bathroom. So therefore, you would still need to pay. So you have to pay 50 cents to up to €1 to use the bathroom. That's number one. The second thing that I've learned is that cash is king in Germany. It's all about the cash. So while in other countries, for example, in the US and even sometimes depending on where you are in the Caribbean, it's very normal to like leave your house without any cash at all, because everywhere, or we take it for granted that everywhere it accepts plastic. And by plastic, I mean credit card, debit card, whatever you have. So it was kind of odd that when I came here, I noticed, and this is not something that's announced, you won't see a sign, there won't be anybody telling you if you call them to check before, no one will actually say, oh, we only take cash. Like they just take it as a you need to know type thing. So cash is king. Like everywhere you go does not necessarily accept plastic, as in credit cards and debit cards. So it's always important to have cash on you here in Germany. The third thing that may be of interest to you, as I found it to be interesting, is that in Germany on Sundays, there is no shopping. So everything is closed. I describe it much like a public holiday. So grocery closed, the doctor closed. Like when I say everything, I mean everything. If you want to get your hair done, closed. Anything where there's an outlet, shops, anything that includes customer service, it is closed. So the country or the city literally shuts down on a Sunday. The fourth thing is that Germans are extremely punctual. If they say they will be there, then that is exactly what they mean. They will be there. They're super, super duper punctual. So I say be on time and do not be late, or else they might not be there when you get there. The fifth thing that I found of interest is that Germans stare. So in most other countries, if you're staring at someone or someone's staring at you and then you notice that they're staring at you, there's this awkward moment when your eye meets their eye, and eventually it gets weird to the point where she realizes I'm looking at her, and then they will look away because it's like weird. In Germany, they don't care. So German will be staring at you and you'll be looking at them like, okay, what are you looking at kind of body language, and they'll just keep staring. And when I say stare, I mean if you move to the left, their eyes will follow you to the left. If you move to the right, their eyes will follow you to the right. When I say stare, I mean stare you down until they've gotten their fold, whatever it is they're looking for. If they're trying to get to know you, look into your soul, I do not know, but they stare. And the more different you look is the longer the stares will last. So just prepare yourself. That's something that's super duper normal here. It gets to a point where you won't even care anymore after a while that they're staring. It will just become super normal to you because that's really, really normal here. Like it's super normal. The sixth thing of interest is that when you go to a restaurant or a cafe or wherever, anywhere that you may eat out, when asking for water, you need to clarify that you want still water, and if you want the water cold, you also need to ask for the water to be cold or chilled. Because here in Germany, if you just ask for water like normally, you will get carbonated water. So that's water with a bit of fizz. It's like soda, but without any flavor. So it's carbonated water, and more than likely it will be warm or like room temperature. So if you want cold water or still water, you need to specify that this is what you want. Because if you just ask normally, that is not what you're going to get. The seventh thing of interest is that you need to avoid the bike lane. They take it super duper duper serious here. So here, the gray part of the street is for pedestrians, and the colored part, most times it's red, is for bike lanes or persons with bicycles. So if you are walking and you just happen to drift onto the bike lane and you haven't noticed, typically a person or a German riding a bicycle will ding their bell like ding, ding, and you might not realize at first, especially if you're not used to it. So they'll keep dinging, and eventually it should come to you, but if it doesn't, they'll go around you. But ooh, if they have to go around you, it will not be pleasant, let me tell you. They take it super duper 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 seriously. So avoid the bike lane. The eighth thing that I've noticed is that tax is included in everything. So it's the law here that tax should be the final price or the final total. So if you go to the supermarket or if you go in a shop, anywhere to buy anything, the price that you're seeing on it is the final price because the tax is already included. And in a way, it's really great. So it's not like, oh, this is 99, but then when they add the tax, it's like 100 and something. If something says 99 on the tag or 98.38 or 98.50, then that is the final price for it. So the ninth thing that I found interesting is directly for my Black girls, my African Americans, my Afro Caribbeans, my Afro British, wherever you're from, as long as you're Black, mixed, whatever, is that our hair is particularly expensive to get done. So let's say you want to get your hair braided or, I don't know, crocheted, whatever. We have a ton of different styles. It's super duper expensive to get it done here. Well, at least I found where I am, because hair, I guess the main reason for it is in the South is that it's not super popular in terms of my population, like the amount of Black people here or Black girls here aren't many. However, because of that, the service being offered to us to get our hair done is not a lot. So like if I did want to get my hair professionally done, more often than not, I would have to make a trip to Berlin, which is not too far. I can get there by train within around 2 hours, but it's still super expensive. So typical styles where back home would be relatively cheap, like getting box braids or just standard twist or something, could easily cost me over 100 euros in Berlin. And I'm being generous by saying 100. It will be more than 100. So it is super expensive to get our hair done here. So bear that in mind and start practicing, girl, because you don't need to know how to do your own hair. 10th, or finally, the last thing I find of interest is that statistics say that Germany has the lowest smoking rate in all of Europe because it's only 26% of the country that actually smokes. However, in actuality or in reality, I have found that Germans smoke a lot. And I mean, this is a generalization, or it just seems that way to me, but it's super, super normal here. So I'm talking everyone from your lecturers in between classes, from your classmates. If let's say there's a class going on and you get a 10-minute coffee break, they'll go outside to smoke. Sometimes a lecturer will be teaching and he'll actually be like, oh, it's time for a break because he needs to go and take a smoke. I've seen during football season, father and son, they're walking and then the sons look like 12 or I swear no more than 13, and they're also smoking. So it's super normal here. I mean, everyone in every country, rather, people smoke. But when I say like it's just such a normality here, like even if someone like in uni they invite you to, you know, let's chill, let's hang out, it's usually to drink beer and smoke. So like smoking is just like a normal part of their, I guess, culture. It's not looked at as, oh, this is really like weird. And also it's so normal that I found that even girls like in my class, there are like these packets or I guess like kits of smoke, like they're like these kits for people who smoke. So like in the kits they'll roll it and then carry, like girls will carry it like super neatly in their purses, and it has like all the little things they need to roll and make a cigarette. And this is super normal. They'll travel with this, and in between classes they'll start rolling, you know, their cigarettes so that as soon as class is finished they'll have one to smoke. And I was just like, wow, this is interesting. It's just like people smoke everywhere, but it's super normal here. They just bring it everywhere. including girls, women, like it's just super normal hair. So those are the 10 things that I found of interest about Germany. Of course, there are others. So just share with me in the comments things that you found interesting, whether you live here, have lived here for a short period of time, or have just visited and there are things that you've noticed. Talk to me about it. Let's engage. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. Until next time.